It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down. It's like a loop machine.
Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down.
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people and this classic Bible teaching, hey, 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 motivation.
There's a shot. To right. Might be. It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us. Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
It's like a loop machine. All around town, people trying to get down. It's like a loop machine.
Players from the Himalayas. What's going on? Welcome to Random Thoughts with DVP. Y'all know who it is. It's your host, DVP. Getting ready for the Thanksgiving show. We're going to talk a little bit about law and order and Thanksgiving just because. Hey, how y'all doing? Today is Wednesday, November the 24th. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank y'all for coming to spend a little time with spend a little part of your day with me. Anybody got anything I need to talk about? Anything I need to celebrate? What's up, Cinnamon? before we get started. See what's going on with y'all, any birthdays, anniversaries, anything like that. Ooh, man, y'all can see way too much in my room. I gotta clean up, huh? Don't pay attention to my box. I just got me a present. Um, First of all, I'm waiting on a couple of guests to show up, but until then, in the meantime, between time, I want to say something. And y'all know I made a couple of posts lately, and we're gonna do some shows next year. It's the holiday season. So I ain't gonna do nothing super controversial just yet. So we're gonna hold off on some of the uncomfortable conversations to 2022. What up, CK? Happy holiday to you too. So yeah, we're gonna hold up on some of the controversy. So I'm gonna try to be as polite as I can be while I can be. First of all, the most important thing I want to say is anytime that you have a point that you're trying to make with somebody, nah, I ain't got no blue. I'm in the middle of doing maintenance work. I had to be sober. Anytime you got a point that you're trying to make with somebody, you should be able to withstand any questions or confrontations without becoming demeaning or name calling if your argument is true. And this is truly important. I don't know if Roy can hit me, but one of Roy's friends tried to upset me, and he pulled a little coward move, but I ain't gonna call his name. But the vaccine is your choice. Whether you do or whether you don't, it's your choice. Don't try to shame people in it because you don't want to take it. Don't try to shame people into taking it because you want to take it. It's a personal choice. Now, if we're gonna be in each other's space, then yeah, everybody got a right to know because of their beliefs. To me, it's no different than Christianity. If you believe in Christians, Muslims, whatever your faith is, let it work for you. Don't try to push it on other people because it worked for you. Believe in what you believe, and if you're gonna try to push it on somebody, understand if they not a believer or a follower or whatever, or a skeptic, they're gonna hit you with some comeback. If the best answer you can give is sheep, you're stupid. We all follow somebody or something. Ain't none of us got truly unique thoughts about what's going on. Some people voted for Biden, some people voted for Trump. Either way, you follow somebody. Some people got the shot, some people did. Either way, you follow somebody. Some people believe in abortion, some people don't. Either way, you're following somebody. So stop with the name calling and try to prove your point, because you trying to be a sheep herder. Respect people's opinion, and if it ain't the one that you can rock with, let it go. Stop trying to shame people. You know, I got my opinion. You calling me old ain't gonna change my opinion. You calling me skin ain't gonna change my opinion. You calling me the N word, you calling me gay, ain't none of that gonna change my opinion. Now, if you got some facts that you want to give me, shoot them to me. Other than that, all it is your opinion. You trying to win me over to a point that I ain't really ready for or I ain't gonna have. Let people have their own opinion and accept it as that. If it's against something you believe in, keep moving. Life ain't that hard. We all got choices. Me and Roy don't agree on everything, but guess what? It don't affect nothing. Roy is Roy. DVP is DVP. My guest Travis, Mo, when they show up, they got their own opinions. Some things we agree on, some things we don't. Agreement ain't the important part of the conversation. The important part of the conversation is mutual respect through conversation and exchanging of ideas. Sin is my girl. We don't talk a whole lot, but there's some things we don't agree on. That's with everybody. Don't mean I gotta demean her, start trying to call her name to win over to my point. If I want her to agree with me, the easiest and best way is to hit her with some facts that are hard to challenge. But nothing about, oh, you don't know this, you don't know what I know. Do your research. I done my research. Well, if you did your research, you can't tell me how I'm gonna think. I can't tell her how she was gonna think unless you hit me with facts. Fact is, I think this after my research. Fact is, you think that, and that's okay. We got to start being more respectful of that, because again, it's insane. What's up, Lee? It's insane how we want to believe something. We want people to respect us for our opinion, but we don't want to respect them for theirs. How does that work again? I'm gonna let you have any opinion you want to. It don't affect me. It don't affect my paycheck. If it's wrong, it's your opinion. Is there anybody amongst us who can raise their hand and say they ain't never made a mistake? That's life. Letting us make our own mistake. I'm just trying to stop you. A choice, your choice, ain't always the same. So you can't just hit me with that. Oh yeah. You got that mama on my shoulder. With my door shirt. I'm doing my show. Okay, and I'm working. Bye. All right. Sorry about that. But yeah, let people have their own opinion, and let them have that. You ain't got to agree with them. You ain't paying their bills. You ain't making decisions for them. You don't have to walk a mile in their shoes. Stop the insanity. Stop the insanity. Lee made some masks for me. Nice masks. A bunch of people made masks. Some, sent me something. Oh, my mask better. How you know your mask better? Because you don't even have one of these. I rock with Lee. She made me something I like. I bought some more. I rock with Lee. I don't need them trying to tell me how yours better. You don't have nothing compared to. They may be, they may not be. But the thing is, let people have their own opinion. Come with your facts. If their mind change, fine. If it don't, fine. Ain't your job to change people's mind. That's one of our biggest overreaching issues is we so badly want everybody to think like us. We'll disparage them into thinking it's wrong. I saw a post before I get into the show, and we're gonna ride off after this, where people were talking trash about Oprah Winfrey. How she male bashes, how she telling people who to vote for, how she don't know nothing about policy. And I'm like, when did she do all this? She stated what her opinion is, kind of like everybody does. If you rock with it and you go for it, fine. If you rock with it and don't go for it, fine. But I'm noticing an unnatural and uneasy trend of men and even women are loving to just disparage other people, especially people of color and most women. But then you'll make a post about how we all need to get along and stop talking about each other. Oprah ain't asked you for no money to support none of her bogus causes. Oprah ain't asked most of y'all for nothing. Oprah give out gifts. Oprah does a lot of little things. Tyler Perry gives out gifts. Tyler Perry takes care of things. He ain't asked y'all to rock with him. He ain't asked y'all nothing about his sexuality. He don't just give them out to people that go see his movies or plays. He go to give them out at random. Let him do what he do. If you don't like him, that's on you. But don't tell other people why they should or should not like him because of something that you feel. Because unless you got something tangible that he did wrong to you or the masses, STFU. Just STFU. Life is just that simple. Just that simple. Respect another person's opinions like you want them to respect yours. Because some of us been dead ass wrong and we push something and you cowards ain't got enough gumption or tact to say, damn, I was wrong. Let me go back and say something to these people. Or, damn, they was right. Let me go back and say something. So let's just stop it. But man, Mo just showed up and he a perfect example. I'm gonna let him tell y'all a little about his book that I'm reading.
Oh, you got the book.
Since I just happen to have it.
You got the book.
I just happen to have it and I've been reading it. And he ain't saying that to me. Let me just say this right quick. Mo sent me this book, knowing what I do. And you know what he told me? He said, bro, all I want is your honest opinion. That's all he said to me. Nothing else. He ain't say, I'm going to send you the book, give me kudos and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Because I wouldn't ask for it. And right before the show, because I want to talk about the verdict right quick for some of y'all who don't understand the legal system and the law, I told him, I said, I'm liking the book, but there was a point he was finna lose me, but I ain't give up. See, that's why we got to pay attention. Sometimes we see something we don't like and we cut it off and we don't want to know the rest of the story. But if you stay with it long enough, you might see a different angle. You might see a different narrative that come about that because people have their way of showing you that they change. They don't just say I changed right there. And one of his opinions as I was going through the book, he said he changed as he found out more information because he believed what he believed. Now, had I just went straight with what I saw, I don't like it's going to be another one of them books because I done read some trashy books. But he changed his mind. He said why he changed his mind because I had already had him a little comment section. I was gonna send him an email about how dead wrong he was, based on my experience. But he changed. I didn't even get a sense. I was like, dang. And I told him, I said, yeah, you lost me for a minute, but you got me back. You got me back.
Right.
I can't read.
Listen.
I said, but that's what we got to do. You got to continue with the process. Mo got friends. I got friends who at sometimes have wronged us unintentionally. Or hell, it may be even intentional. But sometimes their circumstances meant they had to put me on the back burner, and I didn't like that. But once I found out the circumstance, it was a legit reason. Why judge him right? Let this play out and see. Did this brother do this to harm me, or was he just doing something that he needed to do to take care of everything else first? And that's what we don't do a lot of times. As soon as somebody says something we don't like, you don't know. You don't know nobody's situation. You ain't paying nobody else's rent. So again, have a frosted mug of STFU. Now, with that being said, let me welcome my man Mo Triplett to the show. And I'm gonna hold up his book one more time, just cause, like I say, I started reading. I had to do something. I went back to it because I was supposed to be finished, but anyway, I didn't. But I'm gonna get there. But this is the book. Travis should be coming on soon. Travis got a copy, and I got a couple more copies out, and a couple of people supposed to meet me next week to get theirs. But go ahead, Mo. Tell me a little bit about yourself right quick.
Let me just say this. That book he just held up is not an opinion. Those are facts that I found in different places. Now, whether or not I agree with them or you agree with them, I didn't take that into consideration. I said, let me take these facts that I found in different places and put them in this book, and I'm gonna let the reader form their own opinion and make their own decision. You know, I didn't want to steer nobody in no particular direction because it's a high-powered, very charged subject, and I know there's a lot of different opinions out there on a lot of the stuff I talked about. I mean, DVP and a lot of people on this call probably have lived the life that I'm writing about. So by rights, they could tell that story better than me. That's why I left it as an opinion. It's just an opinion, and it's by the facts that I uncovered. There's probably more because I know a lot of these jobs that we have and a lot of things that we do, there's usually an underbelly of the process that goes on that if you don't do the job, you don't know about it. And I'll just leave it at that.
And he said something that was so crucial, and this is what I keep telling y'all, because I tell y'all things, and I don't agree with some of the things I have to tell y'all when I'm speaking about facts. The facts are what they are, whether I like them or not. There are portions of the law, and I was a cop for 22 years, that I didn't agree with. Don't change the process. It's still against the law. And the best example I can give y'all, and I hate it, but when y'all first hit me up about Trayvon Martin, Florida, I don't know Florida law, but I looked into it. I read them. I read. And when I came back and I told people, according to Florida law, Zimmerman was innocent. He wasn't even not guilty. He was innocent according to Florida law. According to Georgia law, he would have been locked up. I said, you, bruh, it ain't my thought process. I'm looking at what the book says, and that's what. It's apparent that some of you guys have never been on a jury, because once you're on a jury and they give you a direction, people who've been on a jury can't tell you how much different it is versus what they thought. It's a whole different animal because they give you facts, and that's what you're supposed to base your decision off of. Go ahead, sir.
No, I want to add on to what you were saying before I forget, but you know, the law has a particular structure, and I think people don't understand that structure is what really, in a lot of cases, decides cases, right? Because you got state, then you got federal, then you got jurisdiction. All of those different aspects of the law, you got to take into account, and it matters where you at.
It matters greatly.
It matters where you at, man. There's some states that don't even have rape laws at 16. There's some states that don't have that. And so that's why it matters where you live at.
And you got to know them. You know, I was telling somebody with the way one of the reasons I love Georgia has a felony murder law, which says if you're committing a felony and somebody dies, it's felony murder.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a gun. If I rob a bank and somebody dies because of a heart attack because of that bank robber, I can be charged with felony murder. See, a lot of states don't have that. That to me is one of the greatest charges ever. But I'm looking at cases, and when I first started doing this, I'm like, oh yeah, they're gonna get charged with felony murder. And these people don't have felony murder. They either you committed murder or you didn't. If somebody died because of something you did, that wasn't murder because you didn't do anything based on their law. And I had to start researching to understand that process.
And I'll just tell you, man, George Zimmerman is the luckiest person in the world, because that's probably the only state where that damn stand your ground law is respected and honored. If he was anywhere else, he would have been under the jail. He would have been under the jail.
And look at it. Florida is the only state that lets you go after somebody. Florida is Texas. Oh my goodness. Texas, once you come on a property, they can pretty much light you up, but you can't chase them when they leave your property. Florida will let you go after somebody who's on your property.
Right.
Even, and think how many times we done cut through somebody's yard. And technically speaking, in Florida, cutting across somebody's yard can get you killed, and ain't a whole lot that can be done about it. And guess what? Florida people like it because they ain't tried to change it. So all them civil rights attorneys and all those activists who won't tell you this, because a lot of people who don't change it don't know that little portion that's in there. That's why I tell y'all, be careful who y'all listen to that's giving y'all facts. I don't mess with nobody who name rhyme with Trump or 45, attorneys or not, because they all going down that dark path. And what they don't do a good job of is letting you know why certain things happen. They get you riled up. They want to get into your emotions, but they don't tell you to temper your emotions and look at this. So what we're gonna do is I want to start off with the Zimmerman trial, not Zimmerman, Wisconsin. And I'm listening, doing like Mo said at first I was just going on how I felt. I was going on a lot of things that I was hearing and seeing, but I didn't read up on it. And then I started reading, and I was like, oh, everybody, because at first I was one of the ones, why they ain't lock his mama up? Why she taking her son? Why is her and her son riding with an assault rifle? Well, come to find out, when she dropped her son off, he didn't have a gun. He didn't have a gun, which is what we kept saying, which is why we got to stop putting stuff in, and it makes us look stupid when we trying to have an argument when people can easily debunk a lie we're telling to prove our narrative. His mama just dropped him off to, and he went to a friend's house, which is what Wisconsin law says. My 16-year-old can possess an assault type rifle if he's with somebody who's 21 years old. His friend just happened to be 21 years old. So, why he wasn't charged with this? How you gonna charge him with it? It wasn't against the law. You want people to just charge something because that's what you think or that's what your state says? He can't be charged with it. He wasn't carrying the conceal. He was carrying the open, walking around. What you gonna do? It ain't against the law there. Oh, it should be. You're right, but it ain't. Stupidity should be against the law. But y'all still walking amongst us, free as a bird. So once you look at it, you throw that out. Well, why the feds ain't charging with the gun charge? What was the feds gonna charge them with? Because some of y'all I'm sure watch way too much TV because you make up crimes that don't exist. What was the feds gonna charge them with? According to Wisconsin law, the gun wasn't long enough to be considered an assault rifle. That's Wisconsin law. Don't matter what it is, they have a barrel length that he didn't meet. So let's toss that one out the way. What was the feds gonna charge him with? Go ahead.
So no, I was just gonna say DVP. So I think a lot of that was like what you hitting on is a lot of people don't understand about the fact that the laws differ from state to state, man. And sometimes it's a drastic difference. And you hitting upon it, man, because what you're saying might not apply in a different state.
Right.
It applies in that state though,
And that's why you gotta read it. I mean, it's like I tell people who want to tell me about what Atlanta say. The mayor of Atlanta said APD can't lock you up for having possession of marijuana. People go to the county jail all the time because it's still a state offense. States say you can't do it. In the city of Atlanta, you can. And let me be clear, when I told people, it only counts if Atlanta PD pull you over. That's who her control lies with. She can't tell the sheriff, the marshals, or the federal police who to lock up. If you sitting outside, you can be sitting outside Atlanta City Capitol smoking weed. Atlanta got to walk by you all day long, but let a sheriff walk by you. You going to jail, player. Well, the mayor said I don't work for the mayor. The feds say marijuana is illegal. I don't care what Colorado say. I don't care what no state who say marijuana is okay. Let them take it to the airport and see what happens. The airport is federal property. See, but we don't understand the law. And I done said it to you twice. I done said it to you 10,000 times. There's city, there's state, there's federal. Know who you dealing with. Know who you dealing with. See, the feds don't care nothing about your seatbelt. They ain't gonna never stop you for no seatbelt violation. That's pretty much a city ordinance. You know, maybe the state air now and then when they generating revenue, but the feds ain't no FBI agent finna never pull you over for not having your seatbelt. It ain't even in their book. They don't care. But we do these things and we don't get them. So we get back to Kenosha, Wisconsin. Y'all saw the video. Y'all saw the video. And you know what you did when you saw it? You closed your eyes. Because I watched the video, and can anybody tell me in that video, anybody, legally speaking, where the little trash boy was the aggressor? He never was the aggressor. Never. Facts count, not your feeling. Well, why was he there? I'm gonna give you another law. Good Samaritan. You can be where you want to if you're trying to stop something from happening. He wasn't breaking into nothing. We didn't see him try to get in no buildings. We saw him just patrolling the streets. Can you prove that he wasn't patrolling the streets? You can't. You can't. Did you see him peeping in windows trying to break the windows and steal something? You can't. Oh, he's a racist. I don't know if y'all understand what racists mean or what racists do. What did he do that make you feel like he was a racist? Because according to the facts that I saw, everybody he shot looked like him. They didn't look like Mo. They didn't look like me. They looked like white people. Now I could be wrong because my TV, you know, it wasn't set on the HDMI setting. But Mo, did they look white to you?
Yeah, they did.
So tell me where you get, and I don't have no problem with you calling him a racist, but tell me where you get that. Tell me where you get that from. Didn't hear him say the N word. Didn't say he was going to hunt them. He shot 3 white people. That's not typical of racists. That's not typical. But I get it. You and your feelings. And Mo, this is one of the questions I had for you.
Okay.
Because this is one of the things y'all finna create havoc that you weren't ready for, unintended consequences. One of the people that he killed was a pedophile. Did you see that part?
I didn't see that part, but
Okay.
go ahead.
One of the people was a pedophile. They wouldn't let them bring that up in trial.
Oh,
And people was like, oh, see, y'all know, y'all should be happy. At least he killed a pedophile. He didn't know this. But if y'all gonna be happy about that, I'm warning you now. If you're gonna be happy about that and say this okay, then when the police kill somebody and they just happen to have a record, you gotta shut the fuck up all over again. The ends can't justify the means if you don't know. So if the police shoot somebody and he just happened to have a felon, y'all need to keep that same energy, which is dead wrong. You didn't know it ahead of time, so you couldn't have been doing to prevent nothing. And then we the same group of people who be like, oh, they did their time, get them a fresh start. Unless it don't work with what you're thinking. And that's one of our big issues. We can't stay straight down the line. We keep getting our emotions involved and want to take an emotional side. Either it's wrong or it ain't.
and man, that's after the fact information too. He didn't know that dude was a pedophile before he shot him.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? You can't just be like, oh yeah, oh I got one, you know, because he's a pedophile. But when'd you find that out?
Right. You know, but that's the thing. We like to do situational. We want to make rules on the fly for certain situations. And that ain't how it go, players and players. It ain't. You know, either it's right or it's wrong. It has no bearing on color. And we got to get beyond that. Because I'm gonna tell you, period. If I shoot a man, under the guise of color of law, I need to shoot him for what he's doing right then, not for what I'm gonna find out 20 minutes later that he did. I told you, I don't know if you heard this story, Mo. I fought a guy early in my career. It's a hell of a fight. I ended up going to the hospital. He ended up going to the hospital, and I almost shot him because he got the best of me. my leg was messed up. I couldn't walk no more. He was bigger than me. He was on top of me, and I had my gun. I was like, dude, it's gonna be a Richard Pryor moment. I'm not gonna die by myself. It's gonna be bloodshed everywhere. He got up off me. We laid there in the street. I'm bleeding. My leg is incapacitated till the cavalry showed up. Well, when APD showed up, they was like, dang, that's Morzon. Who the hell is Morzon? Morzon goes to cops' part-time jobs and starts fights. Up until that point, Morzon was 12-0. So I could have shot him. I didn't know that at the time. Hell, had I known that, I would have never challenged him in the first place, because technically I challenged him because he stole something and he gave me a disrespectful look, because I was gonna let him steal it. He came in the store, Mo. He had on one of them fishnet jerseys, but it had meat wrapped all around his waist. I wasn't finna stop him because I figured something wrong with this dude. Anybody who steal with fishnet on, they gotta be a little touched. But when he got to me, Mo, Buddy stopped and looked at me and sucked his teeth. He was like, you outweigh me by 75 pounds, but I ain't no punk. And I went after him because I'm like, dude, ain't nobody just finna be. See, that's when you're young and stupid, you know? And we got into a nasty fight. Crazy thing, when we got to the hospital, the doctors and nurses knew who he was. Everybody knows something about this dude but me. But I couldn't have shot him based on something I didn't know. I was gonna shoot him because of the situation we was in. Like I said, I ended up being out of work for 3-4 weeks because I actually had a leg splint on because my leg got cut open, from the fight with him. I was like, yeah, and the police like, yeah, you should have shot him. I didn't know who he was. Hell, I still got him as John Doe. Y'all telling me his whole name. He ain't got no ID. Y'all telling me who he is. And that's one of them instances though. You can't make up facts after the fact. All I knew is he stole some meat. It probably was a felony amount, but it wasn't enough for a shooting. It wasn't. Hell, if he wouldn't have turned around and swung at me, we actually would have never got to fight. If he would have dropped that meat like I asked him to, everything would have been great. I wasn't going to chase him. But this is again where you can't make up stuff to fit your own need. Oh, he was bigger than me. Why you didn't shoot? Well, and ladies, this is what I want you to understand. The law for law enforcement officers is clear. There is no section in any state. I looked this up. No state teaches that you can shoot because you're in fear of your life. It doesn't. Not for police. Mo can use that phrase all day long. Mo is a civilian. He ain't been trained. He don't have no protocol to go through. Every cop, every single one of them, before you shoot somebody, before you even get to deadly force, you have to prove that the person has ability, opportunity, and jeopardy. And all three of them exist at the same time. All three. And every time I hear one of these police cases, and that was one that's in my notes for you, Mo, is people like, oh, I'm scared of this. Well, don't you hear all the time that we scared when we go to DV calls? We scared of traffic stops. We can't just pull our gun out until somebody shows that they have the ability to harm me. The opportunity is always there. Once I show up, the opportunity is there. Jeopardy means they have to do something. And I'm gonna just use Mo because we cool. But if I pull Mo over, I don't care if Mo's 6'4", 275 and steaming high. Until Mo get out that car and pull a knife and tell me he gonna do something. Once he pull that knife and face toward me, he's got the ability to hurt me. The opportunity is there because I'm there. And the jeopardy came when he pulled a knife out. If the knife is in his pants pocket, the knife is in the car, there is no jeopardy. There ain't none. And none of these civil rights activists or attorneys will ever bring this up. They let these punk ass cops get away with saying, oh, I was scared. Well, we're scared most of the time. When I pull Mo over, I don't know if Mo just killed somebody or if he just ran a stop sign. Mo knew if he killed somebody. Mo got the advantage of me. Every single time I stop somebody, I'm fucking scared because I don't know what they know. And he don't know what I know. Shit, he got a dead body in the trunk. He thinking, shit, I bet he pulling me over for this murder. Dude, I'm just pulling you over because you ran a stop sign. His mind is already made up that he got to get out. All I want to do is give him a ticket. So, of course, I'm scared because I don't know. But I can't just walk up to him and say, pull my pistol out, hey, sir, you ran a stop sign. I'm going to need you to sign this ticket and be pointing my pistol at his head the whole time. The law does not allow that. And I hate every time I see cops say that. It's straight BS, and nobody ever challenges it. And this is in every state. This is at every academy. Ability, opportunity, and jeopardy. Some states even have a fourth one called preclusion. Preclusion is not only does he have the knife now or the weapon, he has to either raise it or come toward me. He can't walk away with it. He's got the precluding act has got to be something that puts me in immediate danger, not him just having it. And, you know, and that one is kind of shaky, but all of them teach ability, opportunity, and jeopardy. Yes, sir.
I was just gonna say, man, how does jogging in the street in a neighborhood equal any of that?
We're gonna get to that one because that's a special case.
You gonna wait for the people? Okay.
Oh, no.
Wait for the people.
No, I just want to finish that. That's a special
one.
Oh,
okay.
I actually had somebody, and I don't want this to sound racist, but I had a white guy who explained to me what they did because I didn't know. And this is where you know you got good people who, hey man, this is what they did. And I was like, damn, I ain't know that, but I'm not a hunter. But when we wrapping up with Kenosha and everybody mad, oh, they doing this. And then, you know, you see the people, the man and his daughter went out there to protest. They went out there with their assault rifles. And what happened? Nothing. It's legal. I don't understand what you're protesting. You proving a point. So when we say, oh, if that would have been black, what would have happened? Because most of us, that's our go-to phrase. Well, a black man and his daughter went downtown with their assault rifles. And what happened? Nothing. It's legal. You proved a point, player. You proved a point. And you disproved the point that had they been black, what would have happened? They was black. Nothing happened. Nothing. So context matters. All right, there go my other player. That's Travis. He got a copy of the book too, Mo. So, and what we're doing is, and I taught Travis it in a mandate, and I'm a stickler for the rules. There's a time to cheat them, but you can't cheat the law. You can cheat the rules. You can't cheat the law. And you got to know what the law say before we start passing judgment on what Georgia says versus what Wisconsin says versus what California says versus what Michigan says. You got to know when people send me stuff, hey man, you got to give me a minute so I can check what the statute says in your state. Because in Georgia, I know what this is. Hey, what's going on, Ari? And before we go to the next scenario, so I'm gonna tell you, California and I think 2 other states have a crime called stealthing. And I've been waiting to do a show on stealthing. You know what stealthing is, Mo?
I don't, man.
Travis, you know what? Welcome to the show, Travis. You know what stealthing is? Travis?
He's still connected.
Oh, okay. Okay. Stealthing is when a woman consents to have sex with a man and he removes the condom without her knowledge.
Oh, Lord Jesus. What?
And you know, and I had asked the question before because it came up because several states are trying to pass this. And you know, women don't say, oh, that's right. It ain't right. The woman consented to sex. She didn't consent to
possible pregnancy.
She didn't consent to raw sex.
Yeah.
So he removed the condom, which is an act of betrayal. You might have sexual misconduct. At best, you might have sexual battery, but there is no rape. The sex was agreed to.
Yeah, right.
So now several states are looking at that and they starting to pass it. Like I said, it's passed in the UK. And I had a guy who wanted to argue with me about, you know, dude, I looked it up. You know, he posted an article where it's illegal. It said co.uk, which means for the uninitiated, it means not United States. UK means United Kingdom. It's illegal over there in most places. Over here, most people never heard of it. But it's getting a little roll. It's getting a little roll. See, I got 2 smart gentlemen who didn't know nothing about it. And like I said, I've been looking at this for the past maybe 18 months, 20 months, because I didn't know how common it was. But when you start talking to women, a lot of them have a story about a guy who was doing it.
Oh man!
And took the condom off. You know.
Listen. Just from the points of procreation and disease, it should be legal.
Right.
Should be able to do that.
And it's crazy. Like I said, Ari on top of it, Ari know. And it's like I say, it's one of them things that What's the charge when they do it? There is one. There ain't one. You consented to the sex.
Wow.
So you can't. What was your complaint gonna be? Because no statute covered removal of a condom. Not a one. Not a one. Anyway, that's one of the things that's gonna be coming up. So
that's deep.
I'm gonna talk more about stealthing, so y'all can look in your you look in your cities and states, and make sure you get on the book, because it's a lot of, amazingly, I'm finding out more and more. It's a lot of grimy dudes out there. It's a lot of grimy dudes. And like I said, I wanted to do this show because I wanted to get, I didn't want it to be some of the deeper shows I had, but I wanted to go with this, and I didn't expect a verdict today. So that's why I hadn't even said that to Mo and Travis about it. They caught me slipping. I didn't think it was gonna be a verdict the next week. For them to come back that quick, and now we switching over to Georgia. For them to come back that quick, and all of them are guilty, just like that. And before we switch over, I'm gonna go to one more thing. In Wisconsin, and I posted this on Facebook. The judge who was deliberately, and why can I say he did deliberately? Because he was changing rules on the fly. He's elected, he's been reelected over and over and over again. You can't keep reelecting people not knowing what they stand for. This is my biggest issue with advocates. This is my biggest issue with people who claim to fight for us. For every person, and I'm gonna task Mo and I'm gonna task Travis, we like to talk about victims. In Mo book, almost, every 12, 13 pages, he got something like, this is why Black Lives Matter. And my thing is now, when I call the judge out in Kenosha, I forgot his name already, we got to call these judges out. So when it's time to get reelected, we remember their names more so than the victim's name. Ain't nothing we can do for the victim now. And I get us memorializing them, but we can't keep letting the people who screwed us over, we can't keep letting them get reelected come election time, because nobody ever says their name. So now every time I see something, when I get a judge's name, I'm posting about the judge. Remember him when it's time to go to the ballot box. Remember him. This is the guy that let this happen. This is the guy who was telling the jury what they couldn't do. This guy who making rules on the fly, and come to do research, he ain't making these rules on the fly. This judge has been this way for 20 years. Ain't nobody complained. The only people who pissed are people who don't live in Wisconsin. We're the only ones who think it's wrong. But he got 20 years of doing this. He won't let you call somebody on trial a victim. I'm sorry. He won't let you call somebody who's been assaulted a victim. It makes the jury partial. So if Mo shoot me in the head, I can't be the victim of a shooting. Where did they do that at? But he said you can't do it.
So what are you? If he's not a victim.
I'm the guy who got shot.
You're the guy who got shot. Okay.
Yeah, but they can't call me a victim. Yeah, go ahead.
Let's take a break before we jump to the one here in Georgia.
Okay. All right, we're gonna take a quick break so we can, do what we do. And I'm gonna get my guests up to speed, and we'll be right back.
It's like a loot machine. All around town, people trying to get down. It's like a loot machine.
There's a shot. It might be. It could be. Right field. Grand slam. What a shot. That's how you get hot, young fella.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do, and all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
Every time I open one of these bottles, I hear trumpets and big band music. The Creole Seasoning is a sodium-free and sugar-free blend that's versatile enough to put on anything. One of the first blends I developed more than 8 years ago, the Creole Seasoning has an unmistakable aroma, a bold flavor, and a little heat for character.
Follow the Black College Sports Network and all of our shows on YouTube. You can find us at MyJBN Online and on all social media at MyBCSN1.
Nope. Nope.
Come on, him.
Ooh, I like him.
Quick, the quicker picker-upper. Bounty picks up messes quicker, and each sheet is 2 times more absorbent, so you can use less.
He's an 8.
He's a 9.
Bounty, the quicker picker-upper.
It's like a loot machine. Going around town, trying to get down.
Charmin Ultra Soft has so much cushiony softness, it's hard for your family to remember they can use less.
Sweet pillows of softness.
This is soft. Holy Charmin. Oh, excuse me. Roll it back, everybody. Sorry.
Charmin Ultra Soft is so cushiony soft, you'll want more, but it's so absorbent, you can use less, so it's always worth it.
Now, what did we learn about using less?
You gotta roll it back, everybody.
We all go, why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
For my people that don't get to see me, trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people, and this classic Bible teaching say, make this for my people that don't get to see me. Trying to remind you who you are, just like in Romans 3. See, we about to blow across the world just like a day that's breezy. This motivation for the people, and this classic Bible teaching. Hey, 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 hey. Motivation.
You don't need to say talking trash with Travis.
I can go get a one of the pimp goblets made if I want to.
Anyway, what's up, fam? We back. I got my trash talker and my expert here with me as we go through some things, and we left off, and I've told these two guys, and like I said, I just started talking to Mo, but Travis, no, I'm a stickler for who we vote for. We vote for stuff and we don't know why. And when you got these activists or people who woke, which I hate that word, they need to let you know who is working against you. When we get these judges who won't sentence white kids, but they sentence black kids, and even fussing about the system, change who you vote for. Call their name out. Like I said, we can call out Sandra Bland. We can call out Philando Castillo. We can call out all the people who have been murdered. Look at the judge who let some of the cops off. Look at the district attorney who presented shitty cases. These people are elected officials. If we don't grab control of that power and let them know how pissed we are about it, ain't nothing gonna ever change. Me fussing with these two guys ain't gonna change shit. If we don't, we live here in Atlanta. Paul Howard was a piece of shit district attorney. Guess what? Paul Howard ain't employed no more because we got enough steam going. Enough cops started speaking out about his behavior and how he was screwing over their cases, how he would railroad blacks and negotiate with whites. The people got tired of it. But at some point, you have to call this man out. You can't keep these things a secret. So we could sit back. I could say, yeah, Ray Lewis. I could say, yeah, all the BS dope cases. But if I don't tell them who's the cause of these people getting off, you know what they're going to keep thinking? Police misconduct. Police ain't doing their job. And I'm going to say this till the day I die. All police can do is effect an arrest. We ain't on the judge or no jury. That's it. The DA get to decide a lot of what happens. So does the judge, all elected officials. But y'all keep wanting to say what the uniform do. A lot of this ain't on the uniform. Because after we make the arrest, in reality, we done. We don't even get to testify if they don't want us to. So you got to keep that. And this judge in Kenosha, the longest tenured member, but he keep getting reelected every 4 years. So the people in Wisconsin, Travis can say, you know, how crazy it was. Mo can say how crazy it was, but Mo and Travis don't vote in Wisconsin. So their voice don't matter. The people in Wisconsin stay there with it. So they the ones that count, and they happy with him because they keep reelecting. So again, it's time to have another frosted mug of STFU. We in other people's business. Maybe they like being held down. Maybe they like being oppressed. Bro, what was the first place we did that called and I had to look up their stats and it was more black people? That was it Ferguson? I guess he took a break on me. I'm gonna have to call my union rep. But I want to say it's Ferguson, but Ferguson was mostly black. But because they had so many convicted felons who didn't know they could apply for their rights to vote back, they kept falling victim to the system. And I was like, dude, all these dope dealers y'all got, you ain't hear this from me, but why don't y'all send one of these kids to school for be a political science major and then let him be your mayor? Y'all 70 something% black, but 26% of y'all vote. So y'all like being oppressed because you could change this simply by going to the ballot. And this is where we end up at. So Travis, did you want to say anything about Kenosha before we get to Georgia and the dirty South where people swear we so far behind?
No, honestly, after you explained everything to me last week, because I was one of those select few people who actually believed in having that emotional outlook versus dealing with the law. And by the way, it's a pleasure to meet you, Brother Mo. I've heard a lot about you over there at Fulton County. I heard a lot about you.
You got his book. That's his book.
Nice to meet you too, brother.
And I do have your book. I've only gotten to the first chapter, Sean Bell. That's as far as I've gotten so far.
Oh, that's all right. It's cool, brother.
The rest of it, when I get past Sean Bell, I'm gonna keep reading until I can get to the end, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do the review on it. So,
all right, appreciate that, brother.
All right.
It's a tribute to you anyway, man. It's a tribute to y'all, man. So,
and did you hear what Travis said? And this is one reason I like Travis. And this has nothing to do with agreeing with me or not. But Travis has said a couple of things. I've been on his show, and he manned up just like Mo did. And I love men who man up. Travis said, "I didn't know that. I didn't know. You told me something I didn't know." And guess what he do? He accepted, he claimed, and then he gone on and readjust. He still don't have to think my way, but he gets rid of improper thought that had no business being there. Like I said, think what you want to, but when you're gonna start regurgitating the story, regurgitate facts, or just say the magic word, I feel like this was wrong. Don't say it was wrong. Just say you feel that way.
So you know you got a problem when you won't allow new information to replace your previous thoughts on how you saw a particular thing.
Right. But that's that grown man mentality where we like to say it's grown, because again, there ain't nobody on here who ain't been wrong. Nobody.
Exactly.
And you know, and I tell people, I hate when people say, "Oh, that wasted my time." If you learn something from it, it wasn't a waste of time. We got to quit thinking that everything is a waste or that we gonna be right. Sometimes you wrong for the rightest of reasons. You wrong because you're passionate about something. You can be wrong because you let your emotions override what you need to be doing because what you want to do, and it's okay. But once somebody hits you where you're wrong, and this is where you need people who don't just co-sign whatever you say. They give you a counter argument, and you get to think, well, damn, I ain't think of that. Well, damn, that makes sense. And then you can reevaluate your opinion. Whether you change it or not is on you. But if you refuse to be around people who will challenge your thinking with fact, not name calling, then you doing yourself a grave disservice. A grave disservice. You got to have people who will give you a factual alternate. Well, maybe what you heard ain't true. Let me tell you, did you see this? Did you see that? Well, that still don't make sense. Ain't got to make sense. It wasn't illegal. And that's where you got to merge the two. You know, my wife was saying, she's like, people always want to argue with you when you tell them what the law say, like you wrote the law. I said, and that's why some I don't say nothing too. Because if you ask me why something happened, what's your opinion of this? And I told Travis asked me something. I said, I try not to have no opinions until I do some research. Because other than that, it's just me wild guessing. I can tell you what it would be in Georgia. That's the only place I can tell you. But they ain't charged in Georgia. So give me a minute. Let me look it up so I don't be speaking emotionally. Because I'm slightly cocky. I don't want to keep having to say I was wrong. Because then ain't nobody going to listen to me. Oh, I was wrong. I was in my feelings again. Ain't nobody going to listen. And, it's okay for us to sit back and wait for some more facts to come out before we start passing judgment. It's okay. We got time. Let me just hear some more. Oh, you see this? That was dead wrong. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know. Let me see. I'm gonna stick to that. Go ahead.
Hey, since you brought it here, I just want to make this point, to the people listening, is that, sometimes, people, they want to just be right. And that's the whole point of the discussion, just to be right. And that's not necessarily It's absolutely not the thing that we need. What we need is we need people that bring facts, and
Right.
we need people that know, because that's how we want to learn and grow the right direction. Because you can learn and grow the wrong direction with the wrong information. A lot of us done that, you know.
And we do it for the wrong reasons because we're too self-absorbed to admit that, you know what, maybe I was wrong this time. Let me just get with some more people. And I was with a drug task force. We're going after big dudes, and this is why I love them. You get your search warrants. Before you get a search warrant, you present it to the team. The team got one objective. That's to tear your search warrant apart, to make sure that you're doing it right. Nobody's going to agree with you, even if they think you did everything right. Their job is to grill you like a defense attorney, so that when you start hitting snags, it can withstand the test of time. And at first I was like, man, why ain't we on the same team? And they explained why they do it like that. And I was like, see, that's what people need more of. Even if I agree with you, I need a nitpick to make sure that when people hit you with why you doing this, why you can answer without getting upset, without getting frustrated. Because when the enemy is amongst us, they're gonna throw out BS, deflection and redirection. If what you said was right, I'm gonna keep trying to change the narrative. And as y'all know, sometimes when I'm having debates on my page, people keep wanting to change the narrative to something they can win. But that's not what my post is about. My post is about this. This is what we're going to talk about. On your page, you talk about that. But this is the fact that we're going to deal with. Well, what about, what if? I don't deal with what about and what if. Okay, don't get me in trouble. But my favorite phrase was, if my aunt had balls, she'd be my uncle. So let's get away with the what if. She ain't, so we're going to just stick with what's factual. And all that, well, it could have been this. When I teach a police class, I ask them all, I say, who in here drink? Raise your hand. Oh, next matter of fact, I want all y'all to stand up who drink. So I got a class of 30 students, 20 of them drink. I said, so this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to lock them up. He's like, why? So they can't drink and drive. Because that's what y'all keep wanting to do. Y'all want to lock people up before they commit a crime. Because clearly it's illegal to drink and drive. But all they admitted to was drinking. But we know they got cars because they're in the academy. So what if we just lock them up so it can't happen no more? That's crazy. I said, but that's what y'all want to do. Y'all keep wanting, what if something? Mo got a gun. Let me lock Mo up. What if he get mad and shoot somebody? What if? Has he done it? You can't keep being in the preparatory camp without some kind of action to put you there. Not just well, shit, Mo black. I'm sure Mo been mad before. And he ain't got no hair, so you know them dudes who ain't got no hair and black, they scary. Let me just lock him up to make sure he don't do shit. No, that's not how the system works. And you know, you see something when the light come on, because a lot of cops are overzealous. They got good intention, but they join for the right reasons. They just got too much energy. They want to be preemptive because we teach them action is faster than reaction. Unfortunately, our job is to wait for a reaction before we jump in. So as safe as I want you to be, you still got to let them do something wrong first. And that's the way we tend to be as a race. We react to something without all the information. We pass judgment. We make all these posts. We get all these people who amen in us because we feel like sheep herders. And then when somebody hit us with something we don't like, oh, you one of them. What, a true speaker? You don't have to like what I'm saying. It's still true. It's still true. So what's the issue?
I just want to add this, you know, let's just assume what you were spitting was not true. Let's say it was false or whatever what it is. You know, my biggest thing is, you know, what we got to do just as black folks, man, is information exchange. We need to exchange information with each other, because some of us have information on certain things, some of us have information on different things, and you know, just got to get together and share that information. I mean, look, this group here, I guarantee you, we could keep a lot of young brothers out of trouble just by the information we know. I'll leave it at that.
But the thing is, and I'm gonna just give you a simple correction. We can't pass we got to pass factual information, because we love to pass information. It ain't the truth. And that's what we get caught up in. That's how so many of us get swayed, because somebody come at us emotionally and we go into that, and you do your research and they get mad at you. See, if you tell me to Google something, why don't you share me what you got? Because my Google ain't pulling up your misinformation. Share yours with me and let me look at it. Don't keep me and Mo can Google the exact same thing. I use Google, he used something else. If we're gonna have the same conversation, I need to send him my link so he can read what I got and he can say where my link is good or bad. And I can say, I tell people all the time, numbers do lie. If you don't know what the numbers truly mean, I can make them look like anything. There are more black men in jail for murder than white guys. People say, oh, but we know. No, what white people do is they murder in mass. White people kill more people. One white man will kill 20 people. For 20 black people to be killed, it takes 18 black people. So the numbers say you're going to have more blacks in jail, even though whites are more violent. Numbers will lie. Oh, why more black people? Because we don't kill in multiples. That's the only reason more black people are in jail for murder. Do the numbers and see who died from what, and then it'll make more sense.
Well, I'm just gonna correct you on that. It's more than just that reason, and the reason, and the thing I wanted to just point out is the slant on the law. Well, not the slant on the law, but the slant on the consequences of the law. So that you just add that to what you said.
And that's when you gotta call out your elected officials. One black boy go to jail for one 16-year-old black boy go to jail, 17, whatever, for raping a 15-year-old girl, he get 20 years. Another white boy go to jail and he get a slap on the wrist because he has a promising future. Call out the judge. Don't keep sitting around talking about the system. It ain't the system, it's the judge. The judge made that decision. Don't re-elect him.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Traps.
I mean, you just made it. You referenced the term "what if" 3 times. When we get over to the Ahmaud Arbery, I'm gonna hit you with a "what if," and I want to see what you guys have to say about that. But keep going.
Well, we finna jump in on Ahmaud Arbery, and I wanted to get close to the 7 o'clock, but let's go on and jump in Ahmaud Arbery. First of all, the police department suck, but that damn DA, she need to be reelected. She kept focused, and she kept quoting the law. One of the things I teach cops is when you lock somebody up for something, look in that code book. Make sure in your report, the elements of that crime are in that report. Don't guess at what somebody did. Put it down in there the way the book says. The book says to do this, to lock somebody up for traffic cocaine. There's a section there about knowledge. How did they know? You put what they did to meet each and every category. That defense attorney, she kept laying shit out. Everything the DA, everything the defense attorneys, she was knocking them down. I ain't figured out what toenails had to do with shit, but that DA, she was on point. That judge was on point every time.
Right?
Say it again.
She's Fulton County, right?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. She was on point.
I got a million times. I worked in the courthouse 3 years. I've seen her there 100,000 times. I didn't know who she was.
But when we get them, we got to promote them. But that judge did a bang up job of not letting them make this an overtly racial issue. Hey, they wrong, player. We ain't not finna keep having no mistrial because you can't come up with nothing. Where if they was in Wisconsin, he's like, and he won't let them declare a mistrial no way because he had already told the jury what they couldn't do. So that he steered them that way. They called for mistrial 8 times. 8 times they tried to declare mistrial, and 8 times they got shot down. And let me tell you, one of the key things that really made me upset was the fact that they baited the black pastors. They baited them and basically said, nah, don't come into this courtroom again. And what did the black pastors do? You went out and recruited 500 pastors nationwide to actually come on to descend on that courthouse and to try to get access into the courtroom, which then they could have declared a mistrial. That's why I get pissed off at that. Yeah, well, that goes to the emotional side because with all these pastors who came, again, they're not going to speak the truth about what was happening. I got my own issue with pastors, but I'm gonna be nice since it's Thanksgiving. But when we get to the Ahmaud Arbery trial, and this is what I was telling you, Mo, I had a white friend, Hunter, who called me. He said, I'm gonna tell you something, D. He said, what they did is what hunters do to deer. They have 2 cars up front. Somebody goes in the back to scare the deer and push them toward them. He said, they called it herding. He said, they did a herding technique. He said, I guarantee you all 3 of them boys is hunters. He said, because that's exactly, the cars, they're waiting while the other car push them. He said, how else you explain that man being able to video everything? They didn't video him at the house. they videoed the herding technique. And I was telling people, because hell, most of us ain't herders. We don't know how to do that. But it fit in the description of everything he was saying of how they got him to come to where they wanted him to come. That's why he couldn't just run around them, because they pushed him up that way, and these cars set up like this. So you either gonna go down a little ditch or you're gonna try to get through this way. I was like, damn. And I'm looking. I've been in the military. Mo, you been in the military?
Yeah.
So
yep.
Now, military, the difference between military police and regular law enforcement, there ain't one. There's a difference in a war. In war, military ain't taught to take prisoners. In the real world, civilian police are taught to take prisoners. Our whole job is to lock somebody up. That ain't what military officers do. You know, you go to war, you go there to kill people. It's cut and dry. The guy kept saying, yeah, my Navy training did this. Dude, you ain't in the Navy. You ain't been in the Navy. And when you was in the Navy, this wasn't what you did. But you got to separate the two. And you keep trying to say he did this, and I made the post. So in his jargon attire, when he stole something from this house, because we're going to just say, just to cut down on the chase, we're going to say he stole something.
Yeah, where's it at?
Where did he steal? Some screws?
Yeah, where's it at?
Did he have a hard on where he was running and y'all thought he had an AK-47? Make it make sense that if you thought he stole something, it's got to be somewhere. Other than that, everything you saying is stupid, because I'm going to agree that he stole something. I'm going to agree to that just to shut the conversation up. Just tell me where it was and how small it had. Oh, so he went into this house they were building. I know what he did. He stole some weed and put it in his pocket, didn't he? And it's like everything that they saying was just more and more stupid. And I'm with Travis. Them damn pastors almost messed up the case, because we would have been mad as hell had the Proud Boys showed up. We would have been mad as hell if the Klan would have showed up. Why? I already don't like Jesse or Al Sharpton because they camera chasers. There's too much going on. Y'all only chase cameras. I remember when y'all got ran out of Ferguson because y'all asked for money. See, I remember that, but that's a whole nother story. Don't come around when the cameras. Don't come around. What are you there for? You know, I thought the attorney was funny. They're gonna intimidate somebody. Who in the hell can Jesse intimidate? Who in the hell can Al intimidate? Stop the madness. But he, as Travis said, I think he was trying to bait them. We're gonna get this. We're gonna show them. What you gonna show them? You running the risk of putting the trial in jeopardy for your asinine behavior just because you want to be. But the judge held firm, and he kept them there. But factually speaking, and this is where I have a problem with our people, Mo. I hate when people say, I won't be surprised if he get off. Why won't you be surprised? You saying that you're going to accept shitty behavior. That's why they get away with shit. We got to stop acting like it ain't going to bother us. We got to stop saying, oh, yeah, I bet they don't do this. Oh, I wouldn't be. Why wouldn't you be surprised? What is it? I just want to know from anybody, what is it about anything that you heard could have made you think it was okay? Anything. Because I'm all ears. I was going to be surprised if Rittenhouse got convicted, and I gave my reasons why. I'm going to be surprised. I don't see it, but hey, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, because you, as one of the attorneys said, you never know what a jury is going to do. But I know what rules they're supposed to follow. And sometimes we don't get everything until after the fact. But we got to stop saying we won't be surprised if some shady shit happens. If you ain't gonna surprise, that means you part of the problem, because you know some shady shit going on and you okay with it. Because other than that, you should be surprised, upset, outraged. Now your emotions need to come. How the hell did this happen? How? Then you should say, you should go into, as Mo like to say, you should go into your man mode. Let's figure out how to make, because what a man is supposed to do in relationships, Mo? We're supposed to fix it, ain't we?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
So let's fix this so it don't happen again. I don't need them being mad and running around and talking about, you know, you're going to start shooting at white people. That ain't going to fix it. Your dumb ass is going to be in jail too. And since you told everybody, yours is definitely murder because you formulated a plan. You know, I tell people, most states, the statute for murder say you got to prove that the person intended to kill somebody just for the simple crime of murder. It can't just accidentally happen. The law I looked at 46 states. But it says you have to prove the person had intent. Simply having a gun ain't intent unless the gun don't belong where it's going. You went to church with a gun and you just happen to shoot the man 3 rows down. Bro, I can't prove it. Yeah, that don't make sense. You intended to kill somebody. It ain't normal for people to carry a gun to church, even though we probably do. But what made you shoot? You have to prove intent. And if you can't prove intent, which is why it's hard to get police officers convicted of murder, because we're supposed to have a gun. When we get the call, we're going to a crime scene. It's hard to convict police of murder under color of law unless you got something that's showing that he has a predisposition, which we don't. Oh, he was hunting him. You got to show proof of that. You feel it, and we feel it a lot of times. But without proof, poof. So let's go with something we can prove. We can prove the aggravated assault. We can prove this. And sometimes you got to just say, hey, don't charge him with murder, because we know that one we're going to lose that one, even though he died from him. But we can't prove he meant to kill him. We can prove he meant to deprive him of something. We don't like the fact that we can't charge with murder, but do we want to be happy with the charge, or do we want to be happy with the outcome? And that's what we got to start making good decisions. With this case, and I just made a post, it ain't over. They got convicted. Sentencing is where it happened. If the sentences don't match, then again, they gave us a plate of, they gave us a pie with no filling. All we got is the crust. Oh yeah, we got a conviction. The convictions are cute. The white boy who got the little probation for rape got convicted. The sentencing is what matters now. It ain't over till we get to this sentence.
It's the law. It's the law, Bill. It's the law. I'm telling you, there's got to be the fact that the defense team literally didn't try to. They showed no emotion. Like, okay, we accept it, fine, it's good. That was too easy. I just know that there's something in that Georgia statute that's going to get them by, because I still say these laws were for them, by them. By them, for them. For them, by them. That's what those laws are. So there's got to be a loophole in there, something where they're not going to get no serious time. They're not going to get it.
And again, that's what we got to do it. And one of them can't help itself. I think Travis, the one that was a cop, whichever one was, yeah, one of them was a cop. One of them was supposed.
I didn't know he was an actual cop.
Well, one of them was post certified.
Yeah, the dad was I think the dad was a sheriff.
Yeah, one of them was post certified. He got no excuse, because even in retirement, even when you quit, guess what can be used against you? The fact that you were trained to know this. And remember now, and this is why I say the second reason it ain't over. They got the main characters, but you didn't get the role players. Remember, some other cops, some other high-ranking people, the DA, they got a copy of this tape before we did, and they didn't do nothing. You got co-conspirators. This ain't over. You got to get all them people who were complicit. Rico had that damn department and shut them down. But as Zimmerman said, what we got to get into, this is one of the things that we should push for more. Everybody keep talking about what the maximum could be. One of the best things I like about the feds is they got mandatory minimums. We got to start having mandatory minimums. There shouldn't be no sentence that a man could get life for, but he ended up getting 4 years. That's
what I'm talking about.
That's insane. You know, even if we do something as simple as do a calculation, what's the reasonable lifespan? So if most supposed to live to be 75 and somebody kill him at 45, they should have to do at least 30 years. We got to have mandatory minimums to make sure that judges can't just arbitrarily give sentences of less than because they feel. Without that, to me, we're pissing in the wind. Everybody know what the maximum is. It's cute. Oh, he got 12 life sentences. It's cute. It's cute. I'd rather him get 145 years. See, at 145 years, he ain't up for parole till around year 50. At 7 life sentences, he gonna be up for parole in like 20 years. We need these mandatory minimums, and this one we got activists and people who talk. They need to tell us how the system works. As Mo was saying, you know, when I started doing this, I had a friend who told me, Bill, you know the law, you know the system. You have a duty to explain it to us so that we don't get in our emotions. You're right. And that's why I started doing these shows about law and order. Understand how it works, whether you like it or not. Understand how it works. You know, I hit people all the time with, Why you ain't? When was the last time you been on jury duty? We found all kind of excuses to get out of jury duty, but we want the system better. Well, you can't want it better if you don't do jury duty. Oh, I ain't got time. Well, you ain't got time to make shit better. Shut up and go join the Klan, because it's there for us to try to improve it. It's gonna take a minute, but we can't keep being negative, because I don't know how old Mo is, but I'm gonna act like I'm a little bit older than Mo. In our time, in our grandparents' time, they would have swore we would have never had a black president. In our time, in our grandparents' time, they would have swore we would have never had a black woman vice president. So we know things can happen. We can't just sit back and keep being complicit and taking whatever they give us. Let's go out and do our part. If they don't give it to us, now we got something to bitch about. See, my mom say, if you don't vote, you can't complain. You don't vote. I don't vote because of this. Okay, well, shut up. Move to Africa. Go to Istanbul. I don't care where it is you feel like it's better, but go on over there and take your wine and ass on. But don't keep sitting over here saying you okay with us being treated like third-class citizens. All you're going to do is go to Facebook and ramble about it. All you're going to do is cry about it. No, we got to start instituting change. When I told Mo I want to do stuff for him. Mo got a book. He asked me about the book. Boom, I want to get into it. Let's see how we can make change, because a lot of people think things that aren't true. In Mo's book, and I forgot who it was, but one of the officers, and I complained about this before, one of the officers that killed the little boy had left another department who was going to terminate it. They let him leave in lieu of firing him. They say he should never be a police. He was reckless, irresponsible, couldn't follow simple orders. What have I been telling y'all? I know this. I know officers who are about to get terminated. They quit their job. Their personnel file gets sealed because there is no action because you quit before you got suspended or terminated, and go to another agency. And bam, there should be a federal registration. Cops should be just like soldiers. We either leave with honorable discharge or not, but our record follows us no matter where we go, because there's too many, which is why I tell people, cops don't know bad cops, because we don't get to see that file. The people on the inside get to see that file. Some supervisors may see that file, but a dirty cop ain't gonna do nothing in front of a cop he think is a square, but people love to pass that room wrong. How you figure we knew? They just told, hey, they said Travis was gonna be your partner. Unless Travis tell me he was a drunk and sex harassing people, which he's smart enough not to, how would I know that that's what Travis do? How would I know? Oh, y'all just won't tell each other. Ain't nothing to tell if I don't know shit. His file don't come with him. I don't get to read his file. The guy with the knee on the neck, what's his name up in Minnesota?
Chauvin.
Chauvin got 18 complaints about putting his knee on somebody's neck. 18 complaints under the same chief, and he got promoted to field training officer. 18 complaints about putting. How would them rookies know that? The police chief knew that. You promoted him, and then you went out with the crowd saying "Kumbaya," and what happened? Ain't nobody did nothing to the chief. All this happened under your watch. We're looking at the wrong person. Chauvin gonna get another trial. Because Chauvin is innocent. The system made him, and Mo talked about this in his book. If you let me put my knee on somebody's neck 18 times and you don't do nothing to me but promote me, what have you told me? You told me it's okay. You gave me a raise for doing it. 18 complaints. 18 in this department, not in another department, in his own department. In the book, again, Mo talk about a guy who got kicked out of another department. Utter fail. That little write-up is funny. They say they don't think he should ever be a police. Retraining ain't gonna help him. Ain't nothing gonna help him. But another department hired him just like that. Because of manpower. So it's a management issue, and we always leave management out of the equation. And that's what we got to stop doing. This sheriffs are elected officials. Police chiefs are appointed by mayors, elected officials. Some of the problems come from management, not from line staff, because we don't know. When I said, one of the things they never tell us at these meetings, they never tell you how much money they spent paying out use of force, wrongful termination, or wrongful incarceration. There's a fund for that. But you ain't gonna never hear no police chief, sheriff, mayor, or city official tell you how much they paying out. I want to say 3 years ago, California paid almost $100 million in these fees. They don't tell nobody. All this goes on. Don't nobody know who the officer's against except upper management. Travis worked for an agency. I know 2 officers who got to quit and they went on to other departments. One couldn't supervise women, couldn't even be around women employees by himself.
Damn.
But he quit and he went to another department. Clayton County had 2 that came from other departments because the law is sketchy. And all these activists and preachers and everybody else who talking shit won't tell you we need to change the way police have to do paperwork.
Listen, I just need to interject, man, because
go ahead, brother.
That I just want to add to what you just said, because as a civilian, you can't go from one job to another without them doing a deep dive into your background and scrutinizing you to the point where it's just going to piss you off, and then you're not going to get the job. So I'm not sure why it's allowed in the law enforcement region. That's ridiculous.
Go ahead, ask me how it's allowed. I got the answer for you.
DVP, how's it allowed?
See, when you work for a police agency, the police agency belongs to a municipality. Okay, so let's just say me and Travis work for Fulton County Sheriff's Office, who answers the Fulton County government. The Sheriff's Office has our personnel file. Every complaint we get, it don't go to Fulton County government. It goes to the Sheriff's Department. So shit. When I apply for a job with another agency, they go to Fulton County government to get my personnel file, because this file is just like the file you can keep on your employee. It's your own personal file. If don't nothing happen, you can destroy it after 90 days. This one stays forever. See, most companies don't work like that. Wow. But police and sheriffs, law enforcement agencies, that's how they operate. See, as a supervisor, I got a file on you, Mo. And depending on what you do will determine whether or not I turn your file, my file on you over to the sheriff's office. They determine whether or not they want to turn it over to Fulton County government. See, if you don't get suspended, if you get suspended, it goes to the Fulton County government because it come out your check. But if you just get a written reprimand from me, Mo, you did something I ain't like, I write you up. That can stay between me and you forever.
See that?
And I can do this 10, 15, 20 times.
I'll just say that clears up a lot for me, because when I was writing my book, I forgot the officer's name, but there was one officer, man. I think it was the one he actually killed a little boy in one jurisdiction, but then he went on to get a job in another jurisdiction. And I was trying to figure out how is that even possible? Man, if I mess up on a job and I go to get another job, they're gonna know exactly all of my grievances and things that I did wrong from the last job. So I couldn't figure it out, man. But what you just said probably was what happened.
And that's the glitch in the system. And cops, in my mind, should be treated like soldiers. It's one file. To me, there should be a police registry. Once you go to it, it tells where you are. It tells your standing, and everybody's held accountable. Either you retired honorably or you didn't. Hell, if you're in the military, if you got a condition other than honorable, that say what it say, because you don't have to get a dishonorable discharge, but a condition other than honorable is damn near the same thing. Don't nobody want to touch you. Why you to get honorable discharge? But police get the right. Let's see. Wanda does experience. Wanda has done this. Wanda was one of my aces. Wanda said my experience, the detailed background investigation does uncover discrepancies in many questionable actions. Detailed background investigation. But some of these investigators ain't shit either. That's a whole nother story. But there needs to be a national registry. So I can't even leave Georgia, go to New York, and only have to take New York state law when I go to their academy, because I'm already a certified police. They're gonna take my credit from the other place. Oh, he already had this. We don't need to send it back through this. Let's send them through firearms. Let's update them on New York law. Because when we get somebody from another state, they don't have to go through the whole 12-week course. They just have to take the parts that. But again, what didn't we get from them? So if you don't know somebody who know who to ask, well, what's up with so and so? Because they're gonna call a general number, and the general number will say, oh yeah, they was a good employee. I don't have nothing on them. Because all the good shit that you did, like it's like drug testing. Mo, you got to do drug testing now. Guess what you're going to do if you've been smoking weed? You're going to quit. I can't put that in your file. I can't put that you're a weed head. You quit before we drug tested you. So when you go to another agency, oh, he left. He just quit. Why did he quit? Oh no, he said he was tired. I can't mention the fact that you quit right after you've been told that you had to do a drug test.
See, there's something wrong with that, because just the way I see it is, if you just look at doctors and malpractice, if you are a doctor and you got a whole bunch of malpractice suits and you try to go work somewhere else, they're not gonna hire you. They're gonna be like, get the hell out of here, man. You killed people, you hurt people, you maimed people. We're not hiring you. But with law enforcement, a police officer can go from one place to another, and it doesn't matter what he did previously.
But again, a glitch to that is, and that's a perfect example, doctors have to get their own malpractice insurance. That the insurance company is going to do an investigation. Once I become a police officer, I'm insured by the county. They ain't going to do a personal investigation on me. See, if they made us get our own insurance, the background checks would be a whole lot different.
Yeah, I can
but
see
we
that.
don't. But we just fall under that umbrella. Because we passed the basic drug test, we passed the basic piss test. The psychological exam is simply retarded, because you got to be a special kind of stupid to flunk a psychological exam. If a house is on fire, what are you gonna do? You gonna call the fire department, or you gonna light a cigarette? Come on, how stupid? Let's see. Oh, I'm a pyromaniac. Okay, so I don't need to be honest on this one. Oh, I'm going to call the fire department. I'm probably going to light the hose myself and try to put the fire up myself with no training. Yeah, okay, whatever. And it's almost like they begging you to tell a lie. Listen, if you're going to give them a psychological, take the psychological exam attached to a lie detector. Now let's see what you do. Let's see, but it's crazy. But the system is so convoluted. And when I want to talk to people like Mo, and I get to Travis's, I got to tell them the loopholes. And, I get people who will fight with me. I go to Wanda, ask Wanda questions. Wanda know a lot. How do we fix this problem? Well, it starts with nepotism. I hire you because you're my friend, not because you're qualified. And you was in the military, and I hate using the military, but it's the best example I can give. Before the military will make you an NCO, you spend a year doing NCO prep stuff. They don't make you a sergeant and then teach you how to be a sergeant. They teach you how to be a sergeant before they make you a sergeant. And most police departments, they make you a manager, then send you to manager training. It does no good then, because you already got all your bad habits. The same thing. You can't teach me something after you already give it to me. You're gonna take it from me. I'm there now. Whereas the military, like I said, the military trains you prior to, and they watch you in that year. And what branch are you in, Mo?
Air Force.
Oh, so So yeah, you go through the whole NCO prep thing for 12 months, and they watch you. You can't just come in there. You can be the best test taker you want to be. You ain't going to prep without going to the NCO. Hell, that's one of the best certificates you get, NCO prep school. But you got to go through all the stuff. We don't do that. We don't do that. And it's crazy. One says out of state training must meet post standards. It's not automatic. But everybody, like I say, everybody got their little deviations. I work for a sheriff's department. I got in trouble one time. The sheriff's department had somebody on management, top shelf, who had been in jail for killing people. Now, just because I'm a troublemaker, I was playing football with a group of convicts. They were my friends. It's football on my own time. But to show me that they were the big bosses, they gave me a 4-day suspension for associated with known criminals. Guess what I was? I was guilty. I ain't say nothing. But when I wrote my rebuttal, I brought in this major who could give me orders, who was a known criminal. So I'm trying to figure out the difference. If every time I come to work, are y'all gonna suspend me for hanging around known criminals? Because he's a felon and you made him a major. So I'm trying to figure out what's the difference between him and them. Because everybody in the department got to be suspended now. I'm going to take my 4-day suspension, but I want everybody in this department to get a 4-day suspension every time he come to work and he give an order. Oh, how you find that out? That means it's true. That means it's true. So how I find it out. Oh, we just gonna get your suspension back. You can get it back, but it ain't gonna change the question. It ain't gonna change my question. Because next time he say something to me, I'm gonna be sarcastic, rude, and disrespectful. He's a convicted felon. How did he get on your command staff, Sheriff? Y'all didn't run a background check? I got one simple. All I do is put his name in. That ain't his real name, because I called his name in a meeting. I call his real name. Whew, the looks I got. How you get that name? Hey, understand, when you do people wrong, people give you a lot of good shit. You just fact check and it come up. Damn, there's a picture of him under this name, under Department of Corrections, which means he's a felon. That's the only way Department of Corrections get your name. And I ain't saying he did it. I'm just saying he was found guilty of it. You do the quick math. And it's insane that you got to do that, and people will skirt the system. You knew, Sheriff, why'd you bring him in? Well, he changed. That ain't what the system say. The system say he got to be able to go through this course. Because I wonder why he didn't have a gun. He couldn't carry a gun. He wasn't going to risk that. Why he don't carry no gun? But lots of management don't carry guns. But this is the thing we get into. Like I said, I'm reading your book, Mo, and I'm looking at it, and sometimes it ain't the officers who do this. It's management. It's the upper people who do know the dirt, because we just line workers. They put you with somebody, you do what you do. You don't know that this person got tendencies. And, you know, I go to the back, you steal something, the person that you stole it from think I'm part of that. I didn't have nothing to do with that. Well, I was together. How would I know? Your partner stole something. Because lots of people say that, what he steal? And it's like, damn. And everybody love to say that. And that's the greatest lie ever told. And when we look at this, and the police did a shitty job. I got a big issue with the police department in Brunswick. Oh, I got a big issue with them. Y'all went into a crime scene. Y'all know this truck is part of the crime scene, and you let this man drive the truck, or you let him take this truck home? I'm just trying to figure out. Don't y'all ain't got cable TV down here? Law and Order will tell you that you can't do that. But y'all let them take this truck. The truck that not the third truck, the truck that was part of the shooting. What was you thinking? Barney Fife know better than that.
Both trucks.
Barney Fife knows better. And that's why I say, in this instance, we got to look beyond the 3 people who got convicted. There are a shitload of co-conspirators. There's some true reform that needs to be done. And I made the post. Arbery was the best example. How soon did the citizens arrest statute get changed? So right after all that made the news, Kemp changed it. Kemp ain't done much of nothing right. But that law got changed within 30 days. So certain things you ain't got to vote for. If you scream loud enough and make your case heard, they can do changes. All that shit we got to do, you ain't got to do none of that. You can. How long was it that they say they ain't gonna do no more knee on the neck after the Zimmerman trial? Oh, we banned that maneuver. See, it don't take forever. All it takes is people standing up saying stuff. So when you see something wrong, when I tell people, hey man, y'all need to try to be part of these citizen review boards. Go to the police academy, because they'll let you come in so you understand what police are doing. So when you get a review to come before you, you can understand why certain things happen and make it make sense. Then you can speak intelligently. You understand why sometimes the police are wrong, but they're wrong for the right reasons. Every misconduct was truly not misconduct. Sometimes it's just what happened. And in a flash, it looked like, well, he could have did this, he could have did that. A guy called me and said, man, he didn't have to shoot so-and-so. It's another case. I said, yeah, he did. Man, he had this. Bro, I'm going to tell you what I want you to do. Go out to your car. Park at the top of your driveway. Run. Have your child chase you with a knife. Run and open the door. And tell me how good you can do it. You can't. See, we can say a lot of stuff we can do without stress. When we add a little bit of stress, because your kid chasing you, it's a game to them. And you trying to get that kid in the door, because everybody know where their door is. Everybody know what their door key look like. But when somebody chasing you, You can't get that key in there. I said, y'all don't understand how adrenaline works. It won't let you do fine motor skills. But you watch all this TV and think, oh, well, he could have shot him in the leg. Dude, you know how small people's legs are? You have got to be shitting me. Oh, I could do it. I bet you couldn't. I took him to the range. I was just moving the target, telling him he had 3 seconds to shoot. He ain't even hitting the target no more. But when it's just standing there like this, oh, you the champ. And all I did was this way. You should have still been able to hit it. The target won't go up and down. A leg does this. You're not finna hit a leg. Don't let TJ Hooker get you fucked up. But we got so many misconceptions about what police do or what they can do, because sometimes TV done just got us all bent out of shape. Well, y'all train to shoot. That's it. Y'all learn karate. Do one karate ain't shit. But the police academy back then wasn't but 6 weeks. Ain't nobody learning karate in a week. You know, but some of the misconceptions about police have got to be brought to light. And people who want to be a part of the change, go and see. But then y'all say, if you don't say nothing, you part of the problem. Why y'all don't want to become police? So y'all can fix the problem from within. Ain't nothing like sitting at the table. Ain't nothing better than, now you can speak from a position of knowledge. And you might just have a little influence. That's just my way of thinking. I mean, Mo probably too old to join the police force now. I know Travis ain't trying to hit, but at some point you got to do something. You can't sit back in Monday morning quarterback. How come basketball players don't shoot 95% from the free throw line? That's all they do. They don't do nothing else but play basketball. Does it make sense that they can't shoot 95% from a free throw line?
Not to me.
But so now if they can't do it and ain't no real stress, what make you think cops can do life or death shit like that and be right all the time? It ain't gonna happen. Adrenaline will do what it does. Training does what it does. When I get with Mo and I tell him, every agency does annual training on firearms. Every single one. Every single one. But none of them do. Most of them don't do retraining on nothing else. They don't do less lethal use of force. They don't do de-escalation. But every year I'm training you how to shoot. So under stress, what you gonna go to? You go to what you know best. Every year you've been taught how to shoot somebody. You ain't been taught how to talk somebody down. You ain't been taught how to put hands on. You get taught it in the academy and that's it. So for the next 15, 16, 20 years you with the department, all you do is reshoot every year. What you gonna do? What kind of options do you got, Mo?
I don't know, man.
You ain't got nothing but shooting because that's all you've been retrained on. That's all you know. And that's a departmental flaw. That's a departmental. It ain't the officer's fault that he can't get training. Well, y'all get training every year. On what though? Sam says, what good does it do to file a complaint? So let me tell you what, I'm gonna tell you why that's probably one of the worst things going. When you don't file a complaint, you're complicit because nobody knows but you. See, I've been to court 2-3 times for bad officers because somebody gave me factual data that I could prove they were doing something illegal. Now, you know, when people file complaints and people say, oh, you stand for cop. Yeah, if you're going to say the cop had a bad attitude, I'm going to dismiss you. If you say the cop was rude to you, I'm dismissing you. I just don't care, you know, and I hate that to sound so harsh, but cops have a hard enough time without trying to be, oh, I hope you have a great day, sir. When I come from a call where I saw a kid get raped and I'm processing that paperwork and you run a light in front of me, you're not going to get the nice chipper me. I want to give you a ticket and get off. So when you give me a smart ass complaint, I'm going to give you smart assism back because I got bigger issues to deal with. And people don't understand that. Cops are not customer service. We're not going to always be in a good mood. And I try to get people to understand, you're going to catch us in some shitty moves. As long as I'm a professional. Did I hit you? Did I deprive you of any rights? So when people do a complaint and I try to tell them, make sure your complaints are something legitimate. Well, he didn't have to give me a ticket. That's not a good complaint. Did you run the stop sign? Yeah, but okay. Now, if they do something, one of my friends called me. And this was a true friend. He said, Bill, can you help me get my friend out a furlough for the holidays? And I was like, we don't do furloughs for the holidays for inmates. He said, yes, you do. I said, no, we don't. He said, yeah, because my friend's son just got sent back to lockdown because he came back from his furlough smelling like weed. Bro, I've been here 10 years. We don't do furloughs. I know this for a fact. He said, I said, what's your friend's name? He told me. I went and looked it up. He got moved from a drug rehab unit to isolation, which don't happen. But now look, he left a drug rehab unit for 2 weeks and went to another county. That's interesting. I went to the other county where he was supposed to go to. They ain't got no record of it. They got a record of his court date. My friend calls the guy's parents. The parents says, yeah, we paid so-and-so $8,000. Get the fuck out of here. See, now I got a paper trail. The person that they paid is the one who took them out of Fulton County Jail, took them to Gwinnett County to go to a court case, brought them back 10 days later. Where they been for 10 days? The mother showed me pictures of them at their family gathering for the holidays. He was at home. We paid. The sheriff got a, before I did anything, I said, Sheriff, do we have a furlough policy? Let me just double check. She said, no, what are you talking about? I said, so we don't let inmates go home for the holidays that you know. She said, I said, you sure? She said, yeah. I said, Sheriff, this is what happened. She said, no, I didn't. I said, Sheriff, I'm telling you, I done did all the paperwork. I got everything down. I got statements from other agencies about where this guy was and wasn't. I got pictures that are dated with this guy at home. She didn't want to hear it. Sheriff ain't about that life. I called the GBI. Got a little trouble for it, but hey, when you file a complaint, make sure it's something that they did that's violating a true right, not just your feelings. We live in Georgia. There was a cop who just got locked up 3-4 years ago. Travis, the cop that was killing homeless people, how long ago was that? Out of DeKalb County. You remember that?
Man.
But he picked the right victim. He was taking homeless people to another county and killing them. A complaint came in from a lady who said, you got a car. Why is your car in my county, in my yard? Lady, what you talking about? One of your deputies over here, way out of his jurisdiction, in my yard. Come to find out, he left the body there. Complaints start the process. If you don't complain, nobody knows, because we don't know what we all do. I work for Fulton County. At one point I lived in Douglas. At one point I lived in Cobb. They gave me a take-home car. Oh, car's gone. But if you see me doing something, you need to tell somebody. They don't know what I do when I leave the county. Okay, I got you. They don't know. So if you don't file a complaint, who's going to know what's going wrong? And I tell people all the time, send me something. I will let you know if it's legit or not. I got 2 people I've helped with criminal cases with suspicious officer activity, because I can tell you what to look for, when to get the Freedom of Information Act, what you need to, what to go look for, as opposed to just talking and rambling and they deflect and redirect you, because that's what they like to do. But there's some great officers who hate crooked cops that will help you. You just got to get them enough information other than your sensitivity training stuff. Y'all got any questions for me or anything y'all want to say? Mo, Travis? Go ahead, Travis.
I still didn't get a chance to do the what if. Are we getting ready to close or something?
Yeah, go ahead and give me what if. Yeah, we got like 10 minutes.
What if the 3 men in the Ahmaud Arbery case were exonerated, acquitted?
I don't know. They did. I couldn't see no way they could. I couldn't see no way it could have happened. I couldn't see nothing that was gonna get them out, especially the one that had the credentials.
Well, that by itself, I don't know if that's, because I'm thinking of what happened with George Zimmerman and Trayvon. I couldn't see a way for him to get off, but he did.
Yeah, but Florida law said he wasn't. He was innocent. There was nothing in Georgia. There was no, and I looked at. There was no loophole for George. Like I say,
yeah,
they charged Zimmerman wrong.
Right. Had they picked another charge, they would have been there. And that's why we can't keep wanting the charge that makes us feel good. We got to go for a charge they can be convicted of. And that's what we got to make that difference, that distinction. Well, we won't murder. Well, if it wasn't murder, you got to settle for ag assault, ag battery. You got to pick the appropriate charge, not the one that makes your heart feel better for the moment. We like losing. What's the word? We like kumbaya losing. And we got to do better than that. Sometimes the crime and the charge ain't the same thing. And you know, it ain't. And we got to accept that and get better at it. And I'm sorry, there was just so much, but I wanted to have y'all on there. Let me hold this book up again. Get the book. Like I say, I'm reading it right now. He done gave me some facts I didn't know. Right now, it's a great read. It's a great read. I got some more to go. I'm gonna let him know. We're gonna come back and talk about the book and some more, because we're gonna do some more reform shows. Because I like talking to people like Mo who willing to listen. Tell me what you see from the civilian side, because I ain't been a civilian in a long time. I don't know what you see. And I can tell you what I know from the law enforcement side, and together we can start making a change. When I got questions, I go to Wanda all the time. Wanda knows the inside system of management and post. I don't know those. Wanda gives me lots of great information. Wanda fuss at me when I'm wrong. I accept that. And I change my ways. But that's what we got to have. We talk about uncomfortable conversations. Let's talk to people who can give us another narrative that's filled with facts that we overlooked or just didn't know because we got caught up in our emotions and had a point to prove that may not have been right.
And let me just say, I tried to write that book just by finding reliable sources. I'm not going to tell you I'm a law enforcement expert, but I try to use reliable sources, and that's one of the main reasons why I wanted DVP and the people he knows to read that book, because I wanted to know if what I uncovered from my discovery, how it fits in his narrative and their narrative. Is it true? Is this just what people are saying? And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted him, his opinion on it, his thoughts on it.
And I appreciate you for it, because and that's where we're gonna go. I gave it to Travis because Travis is one of them people. Like I say, Travis has said, "Hey man, I thought this. Damn, I was wrong. Let me re-go." I want that. And I'm gonna give you, like I said, I got a little notes. We're gonna go through some stuff. And oh yeah, cause you want to know. So it would be unfair for me just to give you a review but not talk to you.
Yeah.
And give you some things that, because you're on the outside, you didn't know this, like the stuff we just talked about with the registry. I would never write that in your review. That's something that you want to know, but you didn't know about. I owe you that.
Yeah, I'm a civilian. I don't know.
And I owe you that, so that when you do part 2, you can keep that. Because like I say, I'm liking it so far. So. But Mo, tell them how to find you. What you got going on?
Oh man, you can't find me, man. I'm in the wind, baby. You can't find me. No. No, I'm just joking.
Another felon.
You find me on Facebook, man. I'm not really advertising nowadays. I just, like I said, man, I'm trying to align with people doing good things. This group is doing good things, and my main thing is passing knowledge to the people who need it.
And Wanda, this is the book, the good, the bad, and the blue. And Mo don't want to say nothing, but Mo does a lot of great things about getting men to stand up and be real men. So I've made him in charge of the Good Men Need Training page. So watch him, because we're gonna make him get into that, because he has a lot of great stuff that I love to go back and forth with him about how men should respond in relationship, because good men need training too. So Mo is gonna do more of that because he got drafted. I didn't ask him that way. He couldn't say no. He just got drafted.
I see. I'm on the spot. It's all good though. I've been there before.
And Travis got a show that comes on Tuesday. Tell them about who you are, Travis, and what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm hosting a show called The Point with Travis G. Evans. It's on Tuesday night from 8 to 10. We hit everything. You name it, we hit it. And it's not one of those shows that just stick to one particular topic. I actually have discussions on basically community relations, law, politics, LGBTQ, you name it. I'm going to tell you how I feel about things, and I'm unapologetic, and I don't run from folks. I take the heat just like anybody else. So guys, you check it out on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's called The Point with Travis G. Evans. I look forward to seeing some of y'all on there.
And y'all know who I am. I'm DVP. This is Random Thoughts. I thank y'all for letting me have some of y'all time. These gentlemen are going to be back. Like I said, next year we're going to come with some stuff because we're going to work on this reform. I'm going to keep writing stuff. If you don't agree with it, tell me something better. Don't just say I don't like it because of this. Give me some fact-based stuff or ask me more questions. I don't mind sharing anything with anybody. I don't care to be the smartest guy in the room. I want to be on the team that's doing the right thing, period. And if it means I got to change some of my processes, I'm about that life. If it means I got to do a little bit more leg work, I'm about that life. I train Travis, and I tell people as much as I can about what I know. I don't want them coming to me. So if I don't teach you well enough, you're gonna keep calling me. Means you're gonna disturb my sleep. I ain't that guy who's gonna be like, oh, I gotta hold something back. When I get with Mo, I'm gonna tell Mo as much as I can that he need to know. I'm gonna overload him with information because I don't want him calling me saying, D, what about this? I'm like, I already gave you that, bro, because I want you to be there. I don't want you to have to call me when you're having a discussion. I appreciate when you call me, but I want people to say, hey, Bill gave us a lot of stuff. He ain't trying to be that guy we got to keep calling. He gave it to us. When I train, I give it to you all. What you do with it is on you, but you can't call me in an emergency. I'm sleeping. So we're going to, like I said, we're going to do this. I'm going to try to at least get in the show. I know I said this, don't hold me to this. I'm going to do next year because I got more who going to ride me. We're going to try to do a Law and Order show at a minimum of every 6 weeks. I want to do one at least every month, at least get an hour in, just to update people on the law, what you can and can't do. I got some agencies who are going to let me go through traffic stops so you'll know what's expected really in a traffic stop, what's really expected, because there's so much controversy about what officers want when they get a traffic stop. I'm pushing them to have a standard. Hands on the steering wheel, get your stuff or not. It's crazy. And, Mo Book made me go deeper into that because he started showing me some of the things of why there's such a big misconception. People don't know what to do. One cop wants you to do this, one cop wants you to do that. What's a person to do? So, like I say, I enjoyed it. These are my guests. Check that book out. It's on Amazon, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
it's on
sir.
Amazon. Is it on Audible yet?
No Audible, just Amazon. And you can contact me. I'll send you one.
All right. And I Wanda, reach out to him. Like I said, it's a good book. And Wanda's a perfect person to get information from about the whole investigative side from Post. And Post is the police officer standards and training. Every state got one. So y'all do what y'all do. I'm gonna run. Oh, happy Thanksgiving, because that's what the show is about. Hey, do whatever y'all do. Have a good time. Don't eat too much, But y'all have a happy Thanksgiving. Have a happy family get together. Whatever it is, I don't celebrate Thanksgiving in of itself, but I ain't gonna knock nobody who do. All right.
Me neither.
So I want to thank my guests again. I appreciate y'all coming and providing some insight, taking a little time out your day. And Mo, I'm gonna see you shortly. Travis, I'm gonna talk to you shortly.
All right.
Send me an inbox. All right. Roy, you got anything you want to say before we close out?
No, sir.
All right. So until next week, y'all know what it is. Peace, popcorn, and chicken grease. And my empty glass. We out.